Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest XI. So last part it was pretty much just us investigating the islands that are above the overworld. So we just kind of wandering about and exploring and finding all the shit that we could possibly find. So in this part we're basically finishing off our exploration with going to Gallopolis' whale station first. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be continuing with plot. Now for Gallopolis' whale, fuck my mouth. With Gallopolis' railway station, I got it. This one is pretty much just items and crafting materials, an area where you can grab items and crafting materials basically. There isn't really much else for us to grab here. Really not a lot of enemies either, so it's only worth it really if you want to get specific items and stuff like that. So now we're moving on to the Hotto Steppe. Hotto Steppe actually has two. It has a Hotto Steppe North Railway Station and a South Railway Station. This is the southern one first. And from what I remember, I think this is this one has actually a good amount of enemies. There's a chest that we can find here as well. Fuck. What am I doing? There we go. Balhibs. These are brand new enemies. And they hit fucking hard. But really that's all these guys have, really. They hit pretty hard physically. And they have a lot of health. Oh my god. And they blocked that. But that's really the only thing that they've really got. Yeah, because fuck it. That's really all they've got. They don't really have any special like abilities which are going to cause you a lot of problems. But yeah, their health is pretty obnoxious, and they also cause a fuck ton of damage. But other than that, not too difficult. And you get a good amount of experience from them as well. That's two of them. That's about 1,000 experience points each. Sunny Citron? Okay. I think that's all there is. There might not be a chest here, actually. No, it's just you fight these guys, and it can give you a decent amount of experience, actually, if you decide to grind them. And there's some items for you to get, but really not much at all. So let's head on to the Hotto Steppe North. And behind me, this is where I look behind me for the first time. It's like, oh shit, there's stuff behind me as well. Oh crap, I might miss some stuff. Oh well, I can get them later, who cares. So yeah, this one is based more on the Mount Fuji area, the volcanic area, whereas the first area is more based on the actual Hotto Steppe itself, and less of a, where it's less volcanic and more kind of mountainous region, I suppose. So here we've got some pretty strong enemies to face off against. There's a lot of dragons here, which honestly give you a good amount of experience. So this is actually the Hotto Steppe North Railway Station is actually a good area to grind for experience. But that's really about it. So now we're going to Swarzrust Railway Station, which I keep thinking I'm saying it wrong, but no, Whaleway, not railway. Not railway. But anyway. And again, I think this one is more for item collection. Oh, and we've also got... Oh, look at that. We've got another Tockle, who has another password for us to find. So, yeah, that's This is another reason why you want to explore every single area that you possibly can. So there we go. There's our next toggle, and you know, I'm just showing you where they are. I'm not going to be doing those. I'm not interested, but yeah, this is kind of a nice looking area, to be fair. I like the greenery and all the sorry, and all the kind of ruins and stuff like that. It looks kind of cool. It's kind of neat. Wormwood. So yeah, this one, this is another crafting, an area to get rare crafting materials. And we've got another one of these. Alright. Well, see you later, buddy. And we've also got these, a lot of these, saber cubs, who give you a decent amount of experience. So if you want to... So I guess you could grind there a little bit. But that's it. We're done with the exploration around the islands. We're heading on to the main area now. We're heading on for story completion this time. We're actually continuing the story. So yeah, this place I think is basically the three big islands that you see in the sky. There's the castle, the fortress, the evil fortress, which is the final area of the game. We've got this area, which just features a temple and basically is the area where we will continue the plot, where we find out what we have to do in order to defeat Mordegon. So yeah, it doesn't have a name, unfortunately, at least not at the moment. And the other big area is called the Battleground, which we will be going to next part, I think. But yeah, first thing we got to do is we got to have a look around. Look around the entirety of the outside, because there is like a chest or two for us to find. I think there's at least one chest for us to find. If I remember correctly. Oh god. What? Shit. Did I get it wrong? Oh no, here we go. Yeah, there's a toggle for us to find. Green boy here. And he will give us another password. I think his is the last password? I believe so. There's a grand total of 10 of these to find. I think that's all 10 of them found, so yeah. I think if you wanted to, we could go off and complete the toggle side quest, but fuck that shit. It's so time consuming. For not really all that much reward. So let's head into the temple and see what awaits us in here.
We can see you, you know.
Oh,
come out from behind there.
Someone's here.
What
So yeah,
is it?
we're introduced to a new person, a new race. Basically,
The Watchers.
these guys are called the Watchers.
What are they?
The Watchers are basically a race of people who live up in the sky. Who are basically... They basically watch over all of Erdrea and make sure that, you know, and try and protect it, basically. They did a great job. And so, yeah. You might remember earlier on, after the sky fell, by Octagonia, there was a load of... There was a crash, something had crashed and fell to the ground near there. So yeah, basically that was one of the Watchers' basically homes. And so yeah, when Yggdrasil fell, basically the Lord of Shadows decided, fuck the Watchers, I'm just going to murder every single one of them. And this guy here is the only one who survives because he managed to get into this temple before everything went to shit. So, yeah. Mordegon kills a lot in this game, man. I mean, I know he's the bad guy and the main villain, but, you know, usually in these kinds of games, you don't really see a lot of major deaths. Kind of different with this one. What do you know? By the way, something which I can't get over as well, basically, the Watchers just look like Martian Boo. They're just a grey, browny Martian Boo. Fat Boo, basically. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I guess Toriyama liked to reuse designs. Whatever. God rest his soul. Damn, that was so sad when I heard about that. Mr. Toriyama passing away. Yeah, that was really fucking sad. Makes me wonder what's going to happen with Dragon Quest 12. And whether he was actually able to put anything towards that before he passed on. Anyway, so basically he has there's something in here which could help us, he thinks, to defeat the Lord of Shadows. So basically there's this giant burning fire. Basically this is what is basically protecting him. It's basically a mystical fire which is kind of creating a protective barrier around this temple, and is keeping basically the Lord of Shadows away. So of course we're gonna nick it. So let's talk to him. Alright. Give it to me. So all of a sudden this big thing gets turned. Yeah, it gets turned and shoved inside this little tiny lamp.
Did all that light just get squished down into that little thing?
And now we have the guiding light, which is what we need to continue on with the next part of the game. So up here we see these things. We've seen a few of these already, but they weren't kind of lit up and shining at the time. We saw these on various of the islands. These are, from what I'm trying to remember, I don't remember the exact name, but they're basically Yggdrasil kind of seedlings.
Don't you? I have a feeling they have something rather important to show us.
Basically, the ones that we saw in the other part aren't actually accessible during this part of the game. We have to wait until the final kind of third section of the game, the epilogue kind of area, before we can access them. Yeah, they are the seedlings. So the Yggdrasil seedlings will give us some info. So let's touch them. Touch it. And that's the battleground. Yeah, and here we get to see the original Heroes Party led by Erdwin. And I think they actually do use... It's not exactly the same, but they use the Erdwin... a similar design to the Erdwin from Dragon Quest 3, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a cool little touch. I also think the other three designs of the characters are basically...
You don't think...
there's Serenica, the Sage, there's the Fighter, and there's also the Mage. And so basically they are like they're all classes that you can of characters that you can get in Dragon Quest 3. Just kind of a nice little attention to detail. So yeah, the first one that we touched, basically it's telling us basically Erdwin went to this place called the Battleground, and on the Battleground is an ore. which he used to create the Sword of Light. So he wants us. So it's telling us to head to the background so that we can get this ore. And it also shows Gallopolis. Yes, sorry.
Was it just me, or did it
Also shows Gallopolis. So basically,
It was no weapon, that much is certain. A forging hammer, if I am not mistaken. But what were they forging?
so yeah, Gallopolis has this thing called the forging hammer, which it used
Well, I think
which
we
was
know
used
where they
to
were at least, don't we?
create the original Sword of Light.
Let's see if the last seedling makes things any clearer.
So basically, things are becoming clearer. So now we've got two areas that we need to go to: the battleground, and also we need to head to Gallopolis to get ore to create the sword and to get the forging hammer in order to make the sword properly. Finally, yeah, because of course, if we're going to be making a new weapon, we also need an actual forge. Because without a forge, how can we actually make the sword itself? And yeah, this is basically showing every member of the party basically pitching in to
I know that view. I'm sure of it.
forge this new weapon
So if I understand what we
and
saw
to
correctly,
create the new
they
Sword of
found
Light.
some ore and a hammer,
The Sword of Light, as
then
it was at
went
the
up a
time.
mountain and forged a sword. Wait, of course. The Sword of Light.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Took you long enough.
They would not have gone into battle with the Dark One unarmed.
Yes, that's the power we need. That's how we'll drive the darkness from the world.
But Mordegon took it, right? Unless... Are these visions trying to say we need to... Yeah, that must be it. We need to make our own Sword of Light, just
So,
like the
yeah.
old heroes did.
Ooh. This is pretty much what we've got to do then. We've got to head to these three places. We've got to head to
Not much of a plan.
we've got to head to the
We'll just have
battleground.
to fill in the gaps as we
We've
go.
got to head to Gallopolis and head to
Start by
Hotto
paying a visit
in
to
order
the
to
places
create
we saw
the.
in those visions.
So yeah, in order to
Maybe
create
we'll
the
find
new Sword of
more
Light,
clues there.
so that we can defeat
It looked like they found
the
that
Dark
ore
Lord
on another one
and
of
bring
these
peace
forging
back to the
units.
world.
I reckon we'll need to have a word with our wee pal
So
about
yeah.
that. And
So we
that
need
was
to talk to this dude
Gallopolis
first,
in
just
the
to
vision where they had the
confirm
hammer,
everything.
right? Maybe the Sultan knows something.
Oh, and I remember now. That mountain, it's the volcano near Hotto, isn't it? How could I forget?
That sounds
So,
like
yeah.
we're going on a wee world tour.
She now
then.
knows.
Hotto, Gallopolis, and wherever that other island happens to be.
I've spoiled that, but
It seems we're setting off on another adventure.
but basically, we need to find
You'll
out
be
what
with
the
us in
island.
spirit.
Even though I've
I
already
know
said,
it.
they need to find out what the
All right,
island's called,
let's go to
where the
work.
island is. So they need to talk to our Watcher friend there.
You find, Luminary? Thing you seek?
So, oh yeah, and the guiding light as well. We do need that basically, because we need the special flames of the guiding light to be able to create the Sword of Light in the forge. So yeah, that's what's needed as well.
In forging of sword. Sword to beat darkness. You have seen their quest. Floating island. Island of vision. This is called battleground.
There we go. See, I knew I got it right.
Why would anyone go looking for ore on a battleground?
This is explained, I think, in.
Line of great oars.
Oh, I think he explains it here.
Powers fought for oars.
Yeah, so basically there was a mine, a special mine, which had like these really rare ore.
Great pain.
This really rare ore, and a load of people a load of creeps kind of fought for control of the mines. So that's why it became known as the battleground, which is
Well, it can't
you know,
hurt to
it's
go
kind of
and have a look
depressing,
at it, can
really.
it?
But there you
Come
go.
on, you lot.
So yeah, we have our destinations in hand now.
If you need clues, come to me. Tales
Yes.
may help.
Basically, if you're really dumb and you don't know where the fuck to go talk to him and he'll basically tell you where you need to go. So yeah, that's going to be it for this part. Join me next time for the next part of Dragon Quest XI, when we're going to be heading off to the battleground to get the ore and to start to create the Sword of Light. So yeah, see you next time.